Civ 6 is free on Epic, and Serious Sam 4 got announced, and those are the only two things I have for this opening. Hello, Matt.
Hi. How goes it?
It's going, apparently.
It is going.
It's just another day in this long-haired quarantine world.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. It's every time I wash it or anything else, it's just, that. And then, like, the backside for me has started to curl out.
Yep, mine too. Mine's starting to curl out.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, man, I got I got a mullet going on if I'm careful.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going for the mullet.
We all have our own preferences, but yeah.
Mullet or the old flow hawk. We gotta figure it out.
Ooh, I like it. Flowhawk would be something.
Would be something. Mullet, arguably something more, perhaps.
I don't know if that's arguable. I think the mullet is much something more. Mullet will turn more heads.
It would turn more heads. I just gotta find a Trans Am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Well, Firebird action,
Yeah,
something like that.
Firebird and a mullet. You'd be right back, right where it all began. Anyway, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? This is a very existential podcast.
This is the Gamers 2 podcast for May 22nd. Your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that may pique our interest.
Woo! Formal.
Woo-ish. There it is.
There it was.
There it be.
And I don't know where to go with that. Yeah. So I guess let's just move right through it and do what we do best.
Do what we do best. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
And Santa brought you new releases.
Oh, there you go. There's a segue.
It's the only one I can think of. And so the new releases are as follows. At least is the ones that I felt like talking about. Number 1, Golf with Your Friends went to Switch. Number 2, The Wonderful 101 Remastered is out for Switch. Maneater is out for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. In case you feel like being a shark and murdering as a shark.
They really should have released that on Shark Week.
Or Shark Week should have known Maneater was coming out and timed itself correctly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Number 4 is the Mafia 2 Remastered Edition and Mafia 3 Definitive for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Remastered is a stretch. Number 5 is Crucible for PC. Number 6 is What the Golf for Switch. And number 7 is Saints Row 3 Remastered for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. I'm not confident the last one's out, but I'm pretty sure it is.
What's the deal with Crucible?
Lot of meh around it.
Okay.
About what I expected, if I'm being honest, after we discussed it before. And we're like, oh, it's a hand jam of all these other things. And I was like, it's too late. And a lot of people are like, okay, at least a lot of the stuff that I read both good and bad reviews of it, and a lot of people were like, it's still so early, and you gave them more time. Like, it still feels like it's super early in the game's, like, creative cycle, but it's not, so, I don't know. And it's free to play.
Yeah, I missed the bubble on that one, maybe.
I missed something.
Missed something.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're... If missed the bubble in terms of like bubble bursting is a thing, they missed it by a couple of years. But as is the case with games, you need to be on the trends when they happen, or you miss,
and you lose a lot of,
and you're looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Happens to us all.
Yes,
maybe,
especially.
Are you feeling odds or evens today?
Ooh, that's a good question. I wish I remember what I took last time. I'm gonna feel evens.
All right.
Oh,
I don't know if you want to do that.
I want to do odds.
Okay.
I forgot what number one of the stories was. I'll do odds. Whoops. My bad. Which means we start with story number 1, though. as if you going first meant would start with a different story, but we start with story number 1. Riot's hotly anticipated tactical shooter Valorant is launching on June 2nd. The game, which has been in closed beta since April, closed beta is a real loose term at this point.
I know, right?
Yeah. Will be available on PC for free and across the majority of regions worldwide, according to Riot. As part of the launch, the beta will end on May 28th. So what's that, like 4 or 5 day quiet phase?
We're getting real loose with these beta terms.
Yeah.
Real loose.
We're getting real loose with the term beta, remaster, and definitive edition. All of those terms are quickly outlasting their welcome.
It's
also
they're being abused is the problem.
Yeah, also
they're not being respected.
We're also reaching Princess Bride moments of
Inconceivable?
no shit, wrong movie. You keep using that word.
No, that's Princess Bride.
Yeah.
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. That's inconceivable.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. For sure. It's such a good movie. So good. So good.
Welcome to the Princess Bride podcast.
It's such a good movie, but if you watch it, like, there are blatant plot holes. Like, some parts of the movie just don't make sense, but you just don't care. You're just like, this is fun. We're going through the forest, fighting rats. This guy over here, he's got to avenge his dad. Like, that straight up needs to happen. Like, it's just great. It's just a great film.
I mean, I can tell you what's not a great film, and I will later. Because it wasn't. But yeah, they do not know what beta means anymore.
Yep. Among a host of other words.
We're going to exit beta for 4 or 5 days, and then we'll release. You're going to stop letting people play your demo.
This is a closed beta, but you millions of people watching Twitch, please join us.
Yeah, this is a closed beta. Do you have a Riot account? You can play. What? That's not closed. I want to know what an open one means to them. Is it like one more person?
It's a closed beta with AIDS. I don't know.
What do you think this is? A closed beta with AIDS?
Rare's open world pirate game, Sea of Thieves,
Yar,
is sailing to Steam on June 3rd. Microsoft announced Thursday. For the past 2 years, Sea of Thieves was available on Xbox One and the Windows Store. The Steam version will cost you $39.99 with crossplay support included between all versions of the game. At launch, the Steam version will include all the content previously released on the other platforms. Is that make it more likely for you to play it?
No.
That's fair. That's a fair response.
No, I mean, the more likely for me to play it was just to buy Game Pass and play it.
We should come up with a list. Like, I feel like Sea of Thieves would be on a list of games that was like games that you saw that seemed like they had a lot of potential, but then fell flat on their face.
Fell flat on their face by our standards?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe
Sea of Thieves is still going. People are still playing it. And when they do content updates, people jump in and have a great time.
Better descriptor, games that never lived up to their potential.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Then
like you could throw like Destiny probably on there.
Both of them.
Yeah, both. I had a few more in my mind, and then I lost them because I reworded my sentence structure. That'd be an interesting list, akin to like one-hit wonders, perhaps, like of the music world.
Ah, yes, bands that had potential.
All right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at. Yeah, Sea of Thieves would be up there. No Man's Sky.
Although
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I guess.
No.
I mean,
it fell flat on its face in your first description.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know.
It also had a lot of potential.
It did. It came real close
5 years later.
Yeah, but still.
How long do we want to let the window be of eventually potentially a good game in this list?
I just feel bad for it.
It's not your child. You can beat it. That is not how that works in a court of law. I'm just saying that's not how that works.
Think of the children.
Not if they're No Man's Sky.
I don't even know how we get on these tangents, off the rails.
You don't know. You're in a room with me and you don't know. That's the beauty of it, Matt. No one knows. I don't know. Number 3. Nintendo has announced the addition of 4 more games to its Switch online subscription service. The additions for May include 1 NES game and 3 SNES games. The NES game is Tecmo's mythical action game Rygar, while the SNES editions include Natsume's cult sci-fi western shooter Wild Guns and Jellicoe's overhead shooter Operation Logic Bomb. The most notable added to the service in this round is Panel de Pon, which was never released in the US, at least not in this form. But outside Japan, the game was titled Tetris Attack, and its fantasy anime style was replaced by Nintendo characters from Yoshi's Island. All 4 games will be available through Nintendo Switch Online on May 20th.
Do you have any idea what any of those games are?
Tetris Attack, yes. If it's if it's the same game I think it is, yes. Rygar, I know. And no, I don't know Operation Logic Bomb or Wild Guns.
Every time I hear like NES and SNES games, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you were a Nintendo kid, right?
No, I was not. Sega.
Yeah, so, unless I'm going to ask you about Sonic the Dolphin or whatever the hell.
Sonic the Dolphin.
Whatever the hell that...
Probably be a better game.
Whatever the hell that dolphin game is.
Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin.
That son of a bitch.
I knew it was something to do with Sonar, and I went to say Sonar the Dolphin, and I just immediately went to Sega Sonic and Sonic the Dolphin.
I can see that, yeah.
But I was not going to get to Echo. Yeah, Echo the Dolphin.
I have a lovely short compilation of sales numbers from the video game industry that Nate is just dying to hear.
I'm so happy you asked me if I was sure if I wanted to do evens. Because I had to skip the story.
PlayStation Plus has reached 41.5 million subscribers. Subscriptions rose by 2.7 million in the first 3 months of 2020.
I wonder why.
Crazy.
Who'd have thought?
It's a trend on this list.
Oh, really? Once everybody was at home and couldn't... Matt, don't you do this to me.
PlayStation Now has more than 2.2 million subscribers. PlayStation Now has more than 1 million... had more than 1 million subscribers at the end of March 2019. So it doubled its numbers inside of a year, probably inside of the last 3 months.
Which, to be fair to PlayStation Now, yes, it probably did double its number in the last 3 months. But also, PlayStation Now is getting raked through the coals beforehand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, in comparison of, 40 some odd million to only 2 million using Now, yeah, there's basically all you need to know.
Superhot's VR version has officially sold over 2 million copies.
Good. It's a great VR title. Arguably the best, and I stand by that.
Have not finished it.
Good. I'll finish it for you.
Microsoft has announced that Minecraft has now sold over 200 million copies to date.
That's since that they bought it, so...
Yeah, pretty impressive.
I think. I don't know if that includes time before they own Mojang or not. If it does, still impressive. If it doesn't, more impressive.
Yeah. MPD Group's latest figures show hardware sales more than doubled year on year, up 163%.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Yes.
Because we know that they didn't, technically. No, I guess that's wrong. Technically, according to the numbers, they did. But they've also been complaining that they've been losing all last year, all calendar year of last year, that they've been losing sales.
It's a combination. You got 2 swings.
Yeah.
You got last year was a downward swing. This year, artificially inflated.
Yes.
Via pandemic.
Right. So it's, Yeah, year to year, except well, let's just once again ignore the idea of the 3-month window that spiked this shit.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, the surprising part for me of this story is that one would assume that the Switch was the one that led the charge on this, which is true. But all of Xbox and PS4 numbers also doubled as well.
Yeah.
Like, I assumed it was going to be like astronomically the Switch carried the team.
And no, because we're at home. The Switch excels when we no longer need to be at home.
True, but it's also the newest of the 3 consoles, so I just naturally assumed.
Which is why you're right, but which is why when we look back at the last 8 months, the Switch has beaten them every single one of them.
Yes, for sure.
And it will still beat them because of those previous numbers when we total everything. But come to the last 3 months where people bought Switches so fast to when this started that they don't have any anymore, they're going to lose out on numbers. And therefore, the Xbox and PlayStation, when people are like, oh, I'm just at home now. I can do this. Boom. There it is. Oh, I don't need a handheld anymore. Boom. There it is.
Boom.
There it is.
What the fuck's wrong with us?
I like that we both went there in just like a second. It's the same thing. So with me, God, I don't even want to make this reference. Screw it, I'm doing it anyway. This is our podcast. We can do what we want. I can dance if I want to. The game Maneater has, like, obviously you just eat fish and other things and humans and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's a fish, called the barracuda. Obviously, yes, I know it's a real fish, but there's also a barracuda fish in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching a streamer play and they were making jokes to the Heart song. But anytime if barracuda, yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. Whenever Todd and I say barracuda, we immediately just it's immediately into Heart.
Like children. We're all like children.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, there it is. Oh, barracuda. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Nintendo announced that Animal Crossing New Horizons has sold 13.4 million copies.
Holy shit.
Around 50% of the sales were digital, according to Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa. I don't know what.
Hey, you know what? For you normally not pronouncing, well done.
I'm generally okay at pronouncing things unless I'm under pressure, which is this podcast for me. Like, I'm like, okay, gotta get it right on the first try. The game has already sorry. The game has already surpassed its expected lifetime sales.
I mean, I believe it. Well, let's put it this way. I believe it surpassed their expected lifetime sales. I also don't know what those numbers were, but this game took off and then basically took an exponential curve and just shot off.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. We're growing pretty good. Oh, there's a pandemic. And holy shit, people are selling villagers for $6,000. I won't tell you about the black market that exists around Animal Crossing, but it's not good.
What timeline is this?
There is at least one villager I know of that I believe sells for over $1,000. That is a problem. Because,
did you say villager?
Yes. Like,
so are you telling me that
on the island. There is a slave trade in Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing is trafficking people.
Characters. I mean, they're animals, but yes.
All right, so they're into the whole Chinese exotic animal trade.
Furries.
So you're telling me the reason for the pandemic is Animal Crossing.
And it's trafficking of humans / animals / furries.
Do they have bats?
Now, I don't think so. Now, Animal Crossing itself does not do this. Us as terrible humans have decided to traffic these things. So,
if people are spending $6,000 on a video game NPC,
I don't think it's 6. I think it's 1, but
the argument stands. People have too much money.
Oh, no. See, what they did is the government said, hey, we all... Oh, I'm going to...
What if people... Do you think there's people spending their stimulus checks
on Animal
Crossing NPCs?
Yes.
Peak capitalism right now.
I'm pretty sure the government said, here's money to help you financially. And they went, perfect. I can buy the villager I want now. And then did that.
I don't know how to comprehend this.
It it's bad. It's bad on like every level, and I could say really bad things right now, but I've already said enough. But it's bad. If you've listened to this podcast for a long time, you know my stance when it comes to stupid things like this. Thanos was right. That's how I picture that's how I picture that whole thing going, by the way. It's him snapping and then just him going like, ooh. It's like doing like a weird jazz hands. There's like sparkles and dust go everywhere. Like, yeah. Savior of the universe. Like Thanos just crab raving. Anyway, let's move on to actual hell. In number 5, Doom Eternal developer id Software will remove the game's PC anti-cheat program Denuvo. Denuvo. Oh, I was right. Yeah, I don't know why I read the pronunciation when I got it right.
I put that there in case I had to read it.
Oh. In its next patch, the anti-cheat tech. Oh, sorry. They will be removing the PC's anti-cheat program next patch. The anti-cheat technology was added with Doom Eternal's first update on May 14th, less than a week ago, to an overwhelmingly negative response from players. The game ended up getting review bombed on Steam after the patch dropped. Executive producer Marty Stratton noted that any performance issues that players may have noticed in the last update were not caused by Denuvo and are separate issues that'll also be fixed with the next PC update. He said the performance problems players have seen on PC, quote, are based on a code change around VRAM allocation, end quote. Sure, buddy. Similarly to Valorant's anti-cheat, Doom Eternals was required to run on startup and has a deep level of access to information on the PC. And in case anybody is curious, yeah, it was fucking Denuvo. There's no... I love their, like...
It's not related.
Listen, it's just how we move this stuff around. That's not the problem. Also, coincidentally, we're taking it out next patch. No. Come on. I removed Valorant stuff in Fine Sense.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Strange how that works.
Strange. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that your anti-cheat is so ridiculously intensive and the other word that I want?
Invasive.
Thank you.
We'll get there, folks. We'll get there. It's a team effort.
That's true. It is. Not one man does this.
Sometimes I wish. No.
He says that, and I 100% wish he would just do it.
No, fuck. That's not the way it was supposed to go.
Get played. You got to finish your thought before I get to say it.
Oh my god, what's the one that Assassin's Creed uses? Is it Denuvo?
Assassin's Creed anti-cheat?
Not anti-cheat. They have the DRM.
Oh, I don't remember the name of the DRM.
I remember a while ago that one of the later ones that they like, you got a substantial performance gain if you use the cracked version of the game that didn't have the DRM in it.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I don't have those problems.
Oh, fancy guy over here.
The only Assassin's Creed I had problem running was the known problem of Unity. But that's because they broke their engine.
Yeah.
Because they're like, ooh, let's just do tech demos and drop 9,000 NPCs in a fucking one block city square. What? No. How about you don't do that? I want to be able to walk somewhere. Oh, by the way, they don't have faces because we couldn't render them. That's terrifying.
Serious Sam 4 will not be released on current generation consoles until next year. The news emerged as the game's developer Crow Team and indie publisher Devolver Digital announced an August release window for the upcoming shooter. It will debut on Steam and Google's game streaming service Stadia. But Devolver said that console versions are still on the way. Quote, the game is still coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 after its period of exclusivity is over with Stadia. End quote, adding that this will not be until some point in 2021.
Does that story hurt you mentally? Because it actually offends me. Going back to like what we said earlier, if you don't know what that word means, exclusivity should also be launched into the sun without clear and express written guidelines where it is no longer, don't say when its exclusivity period with Stadia ends. I want you as the company to tell me when Google stops paying us money for this fucking stupid deal, which Devolver would say. Because that's what they mean.
It was probably in their contract because Google knows. They're like, you motherfuckers can't be trusted.
Yeah. Devolver, please say nothing. But the writing of that, it's on Steam and Stadia.
They should have like some crazy special effects on their their E3 thing that we'll probably never see, and then just have it like an asterisk that said paid for with the Google money.
Yeah, that'd be great. But like Stadia and Steam. Okay. So now Google thinks that Stadia is a competitor to consoles.
Yeah.
But they know it's not to PC.
Interesting.
Which is weird coming from Google. Like that line of thinking. Because initially they're like, we're going to take everything. And I think they immediately realize they can't compete at PC. Also, this entire statement is weird that they paid so much that we're going to push releasing on current gen until next year after the new gens are out.
I want to like, you have to assume that they have like a team of people who are running numbers being like, all right, this deal they're offering us will make X amount of money. So there's got to be a team of people who ran the numbers and think that this amount of money that they're getting is a safer bet than
is offsetting the cost that they're going to lose by not putting it out for over a year.
Yeah, because clearly they're going to lose sales.
Yes, they're going to lose massive sales.
Yeah.
Because nobody that was going to buy, I hate to tell Google this, and in case you aren't awake to it, Google, this is going to happen. Less than 5% of the people that were about to buy this on PS4 or Xbox are not about to go buy it on Stadia. Sorry, less than 4% will go buy it on Stadia. Mm-hmm. The other 96% or whatever percentage I started using, whatever the other part of that was, the larger number, is not going to jump to Stadia to play this.
No. It's such a fucking stupid service.
So it's like, what do you want me to tell you, Google? I don't know. It's a sad day to see.
It is sad. It's sad. It's frustrating.
And it doesn't even affect me, and I'm annoyed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like it's disappointing.
I hate the idea of an exclusivity window, and it specifically relates back to what was it last week that I was bitching about. There was something don't even look. I don't even know if it's in our doc. There was something last week that I was bitching about where I was like, the idea of being exclusive and then listing 19 stores that it's available at, you don't know what the word means. It might have been Valhalla or something that was like exclusive to, I don't know, was it Xbox maybe, where it's like, and it's on Xbox and on the Windows Store and on Steam and on blah blah. Like it was on 18 things.
I think it was related to the Xbox stream. It was like, because a lot of those games were like, had already said that they were going to be releasing on Steam and whatever else.
Yeah. There was a direct example though that was related to something. It might have been, I think it was something that wasn't releasing on Steam, but was releasing on Epic specifically. And they listed off no, it was Valhalla. They said exclusive to whatever, and all they needed to say was it's not on Steam. Because then they listed off Stadia, Uplay, Epic, like they listed off all these other stores, and I'm like, what do you think exclusive means? Just say not them. Because at that point that makes more sense.
Not you over there.
Yeah. Because if you go, this club's pretty exclusive, and all of us are in it, except for you. Fuck you. That's what's happening, where you have a club bouncing full of people and one person standing outside. That's what you mean. And that's not how exclusive works. That means screw that guy. Which is fine. Just say that's what you're doing.
Can't do that in this world.
Yes, you can.
You gotta be all dishonest and shady with your wording.
Just be a douchebag and say, screw that guy. Way easier. And I respect you way more for it.
This has been Life Advice.
No.
No. Gamers 2 podcast.
Oh, shit. Number 7. Area F2, a mobile... What the hell kind of story is this? Area F2, a mobile first-person shooter that raised eyebrows across the gaming community with its strong similarities to Ubisoft's Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, has been delisted from the Apple App Store and Google Play Store following a copyright infringement lawsuit from Ubisoft.
This is what I like to call a backwards story.
Oh, great.
It's where you get the information you need at the end.
Ehoy, the Hong Kong-based developer of Area F2, took the game's servers offline on Wednesday, but the company made no mention of the suit in a post on the game's website explaining the shutdown, saying only that it was, quote, carrying out improvements to Area F2 in order to deliver a better experience to players, end quote. In the legal complaint, which Ubisoft filed on May 15th, in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, God, our law system's a mouthful, Ubisoft described Area F2 as a, quote, near carbon copy of Rainbow Six Siege. The publisher also listed Apple and Google in the lawsuit for hosting the game on its platforms. Yeah, why not? Just include everybody.
That's an interesting legal proposition.
Which part?
Ubisoft including Apple and Google.
They'll lose that.
Because, it goes back to the age-old question, like, are they responsible for curating and checking every single thing that they put up on their
Yeah, it comes
store.
down to who watches the Watchmen type of thing. Like,
yeah.
Nobody's... They've already gotten away with we're doing our minor stuff, but we're not...
Yeah, like, we're not culpable for
everything.
everything.
So they'll get off of it, but the Area F2 guys are probably screwed if they actually made a carbon copy of Siege and thought they were going to get away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. When we get to copyright later, it's going to get more interesting.
What?
You wrote the doc.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. I don't know what I do anymore. My life is a lie.
The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie. EA plans to release the source code for its classic real-time strategy games Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn and Command & Conquer Red Alert. The studio announced, not today actually, but a couple days ago, the source code for the two games is scheduled to be available alongside the release of Command & Conquer Remaster Collection, which includes remastered versions of both titles and their expansions on June 5th. EA producer Jim Vasella said, quote, these open source DLLs should assist users to design maps, create custom units, replace art, alter gameplay logic, and edit data. End quote.
It'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure I ripped on Command & Conquer like a couple weeks ago because nobody's heard anything about it.
It did, and that's why I was like, oh, this is kind of timely.
Yeah, because I ripped it because it was like we had that giant mobile game and then no one plays it. And now they're like, please, somebody play our game. Like, please fix the game, do anything. Like, here, it's open source. Go nuts.
Fix it for us.
Yeah. Please give us some idea of what to do with this IP because we lost our minds. I mean, it's intriguing because whenever you give stuff to the community, sometimes what the community makes can be absolutely insane. But all those bad things I just said that could potentially happen with it, that's the worrisome part. Number 9, Club Penguin Online, one of the largest Club Penguin fan servers. Why are we having Club Penguin news?
We're in the end game now.
No, we're not. All right, let me just start over. Club Penguin Online, one of the largest... Wait, hold on. Before I even fucking read this story, wasn't Club Penguin shut down?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a fan server.
Called Club Penguin Online?
Yeah.
That seems really straightforward. Like,
yeah, you should read the rest of the story.
Okay. Club Penguin Online, one of the largest Club Penguin fan servers, shut down Friday after the Walt Disney Company issued a Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA, takedown notice earlier this week. According to BBC, a London man involved with the server was arrested on suspicion of child pornography. Who'd have fucking thought? Club Penguin appears to have complied with the order as of publication. The website is no longer available. If anyone does, quote, if anyone does try to revive the game, it'll be extremely difficult now, as you'll have to worry about Disney. And in all honesty, it isn't worth it, the admin wrote. No, it's not worth it. But when Club Penguin is almost worse than not almost. When Club Penguin is worse than Animal Crossing in terms of trafficking in illicit goods, yeah. I like that they're like, we suspect him of child porn. You know it was child porn.
This story just had too much good stuff going on for it not to be in here. You got
Club Penguin. It's the same thing with like Roblox, where I'm waiting for the Roblox story. Something shitty is happening over there. It's got to be.
Oh, I'm
there
sure.
There has to be something terrible, because Club Penguin was a nightmare. And when like I said, we suspect him of using it for child pornography. You fucking know that's what he was doing. No man in his however old he was, it doesn't even say in the article, however old he was, is operating a private Club Penguin server without horribly shady intents.
Maybe he just likes Club Penguin.
No! In that case, arrest him anyway. Do the exact same thing, and then if he says, I just really like it, you go, you need to be in an institute. Thanos snap.
All right. There it is. Manchester United is suing the makers of the Football Manager series for allegedly infringing its trademark by using the club's name, quote, extensively throughout the game, end quote. The club also argues that Sega and Sports Interactive have infringed its trademark over its logo by not using the official Manchester United crest in the game, instead, quote, replacing the club crest with a simplified red and white stripe logo, end quote. United claims that this deprives the registered proprietor of its rights to have the club crest licensed. Sega and SI say that the use of the club's name is a legitimate reference to the Manchester United football team in a football context and has been used in Football Manager and its predecessor, Championship Manager, since 1992 without complaint by the claimant. Feelings?
I mean, okay. The last part is the key. It's happened since 1992 and you haven't said anything.
Yeah.
So now during a quarantine, when you clearly are all bored, you're going to decide to sue.
I feel like Football Manager blew up in this last version a little bit.
Well, I think it blew up in its last version. It lends itself to I have a lot of time on my hands. Let's see what I can do and just sit at home and play. They replaced the trademark because they don't want to pay, I'm assuming, what are probably asinine fees. But they can use the name because the name probably wasn't in that, like, whatever realm, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know all the legal part of it. I would have loved to just see actual like, one of the jokes with Football Manager is it does not have many licenses. It has a few. And you can add in, using like add-ons and stuff, you can add in the crest and player faces and all this stuff.
Basically mods, I'm assuming.
Yeah, basically mods to make it all look like not a complete game, but to make it look look fully licensed with like actual player faces instead of either blank slates or these horribly randomly created things using a player creator. And I would love to see Football Manager be fully licensed, but also them doing this might set that entire idea backwards. So who knows?
We'll see.
And even then, even if they lost this lawsuit and they had to name it to like Manchester Red, you'll watch the community immediately just go, we got this. And boom, there goes the entire thing that fixes all of everything that legally Sports Interactive is fine from. And you can't sue me because I'm not making money off of it. It's a custom thing and this whole thing. Like, it would immediately be fixed by the community even if they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I understand what they're doing, But the whole since 1992 thing, I think, shoots them straight in their own foot.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you haven't barked about it for over 20 years? Weird. Number 11 brings us to my document just closed. And I think it closed again. Yep, it just closed twice. Hold on. I got it. Now I got it.
It's just a list of different pop culture and current events we might want to talk about.
Son of a bitch. Pop culture and current events that we might want to talk about, starting with trailers. Tenet. Christopher Nolan's new flick has a new trailer. Thoughts?
Looks wild.
Looks like Nolan.
It does.
When we watched the first trailer before we watched the new one, all just like the music and everything, I was like, I could not know this was Nolan and think it was Nolan.
Yeah.
It's all Dark Knight, Dunkirk, Inception, all like he has a very ambient music trailer style that.
Yeah, the way his trailers are cut.
Yeah.
Everything. I think it looks.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I am too. I think it looks interesting. I'm really curious. Like, it has a really interesting ensemble cast going on there. Yeah, I'm in. I'll watch it.
Yeah, all right, perfect. And Serious Sam 4. We already kind of talked about it, but there's that one. Justice League, the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is real and coming to HBO Max?
Yeah, I guess so. That part of it I'm not sure on. I didn't look into it too much. I just saw it in passing, thought it was kind of intriguing. I like that people have been clamoring for a Snyder Cut for a long time, and they delivered. I'm curious to see if it's what everyone hopes it will be. What would be fantastic either way is if it does in fact make the movie good. What would also be great is if it doesn't fix the movie and then people will be left like, what? Like, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm 100% worried about. People are going to get what they want and it's not going to be what they wanted.
Yeah. We shall see. I also thought it was funny that during the announcement of that, Henry Cavill was live streaming with him, and he had the mustache going on. I was like, you sly dog.
I see what you did there. Other fun stuff. Vince Zampella said that Respawn is not working on Titanfall 3. Yeah, because they're working on the new Star Wars game.
There it is, folks.
I mean, it's not surprising to me. Titanfall 2 didn't sell well.
Yep.
Because they tried to kill it.
There was a story in this document that covered that exact statement, and I removed it because I read it, I read the story, I was like, this is fucking common sense. We don't need this. Get the fuck out.
I'm so happy you did that and then put the MPD numbers in for us.
Yep, exactly. Well, the MPD numbers to a certain extent are interesting, but
they're not as bad as they normally were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very clear when it's like, yes, obviously this is common sense. They've already, I think we had the story last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, where we said that they'd confirmed the new Star Wars movie new Star Wars game going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what Respawn's working on. I don't know why that's
the news. The interesting part of that news story was that Respawn is opened a second studio.
Right. And that's the part that people were inferring might be doing something like that. Yeah. But I think they're just probably making one Apex and one,
which is exactly
Star Wars.
One's Apex and one is working on a project that the COO of Respawn heavily implied was Star Wars.
Yeah, guess what? In case you're curious, it's Star Wars. Gears of War 3 was running on a PS3 in using Epic's internal testing of Unreal Engine 3. Are we surprised?
No, it just leaked.
Yeah, it leaked.
People are like, what is this? Epic's like, you caught us. We did some internal testing to try out Unreal Engine 3.
Yeah, and once again, this is before Microsoft bought Gears franchise, so they were clear to do as they saw fit.
I guess that's the interesting side of it is the footage is from the same year that Gears released.
Right.
So it's kind of lends itself to
there's a lot of implications.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the implications. I don't know. Do you know that clip?
I do know that clip.
That clip's so good. Last one. Rumors of a Legacy of Kain remake that focuses on adventure and environmental puzzles.
Would I like this to happen? Yes, which is why it's in here. Is it going to happen? Does anyone other than like, I don't know, do you know Legacy of Kain, I'm assuming, right?
I know it, but I've never played it.
That's 2 people, and I'm pretty sure that's the only 2 people that fucking remember this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the other problem. Anything you want doesn't happen.
Yeah, true. Like, if they did a remake of Legacy of Kain, I'd be pretty mind blown, because like that would be like a pretty, I don't want to say obscure, but like out of games that you'd pick to remake, not necessarily the ones I would expect.
What happens first, that or Jade Empire?
Honestly, if I would expect them to do a Jade Empire remake before I would expect a Legacy of Kain remake.
I mean, yeah.
I'll take it though. I mean, I think it could be really cool. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, fair enough. We'll see what happens.
I have the worst cotton mouth right now.
Yeah.
I forgot some things.
Oh shit, you did. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be. This is a short one, kind of. But we'll be, ending soon enough to fix your cotton mouth. But it's been. I mean, that's it. That's all I got for news.
Yeah. Pretty boring week in the grand scheme of things.
From the time you're listening to this, you might have a day to claim Civ 6 on Epic. I mentioned it at the top, but I'm mentioning it again.
Yeah, Civ 6, grab that. And then we should be hitting those fucking digital events that everyone's been planning pretty soon here, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably kick them off. I mean, we're going into Memorial Day weekend, so everybody enjoy your weekend and whatever that means in this new world. I'm assuming June will probably start the ramp up of digital events kind of really happening a lot, or at least post Memorial Day anyway. And I assume June, because I'm pretty sure everybody's still going to be doing the prep going into May. Somebody might start one at the end of May, but June's where I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been 7 days, roughly. The power's on. The internet works. So what have you been up to?
This may shock you.
I doubt it.
I've been playing a game called SnowRunner. What? No, that's literally it. I've just been playing SnowRunner. I have gone back to work, obviously. I work. I come home from work. God willing, I play SnowRunner for a few hours. It's been good.
All right.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, why do I do this? Like, this is kind of torture. And other times I'm like, this is great.
It's a good time.
So that's where I'm at. Nothing exciting. Watching the National Geographic Mayan documentary. Not enough Mayan documentaries in the world.
That's a sentence.
National Geographic Mayan documentary that's on Disney Plus. It's okay. Really annoyed with the amount of times that they fucking talk about LiDAR. All right? I get it. LiDAR. It's cool. Don't need to mention it every 5 minutes.
But dude, have you heard about LiDAR?
That's exactly. It's like, have you heard about this LiDAR shit? It's fantastic. Check out my tablet. It's got LiDAR scans on it. What else have I been doing that's exciting? Nothing at all, I think.
I mean, hey.
What about you?
More
stuff.
As per tradition. As per tradition, and also the usual: Animal Crossing, World of Warcraft, MLB The Show. Add them all to the list. I played and finished Donut County.
Donut County. Is that the whole one?
Yeah. Create holes and things fall in the hole.
Oh yeah, I wanted to play that. How was that?
It was pretty good. It was a nice casual, just hang out.
Suck some stuff into a hole.
Right. Let me shoot some stuff out of a hole.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did see that one go.
A couple mechanics here.
Whew.
Who'd have thought? So
short
yeah,
game? Short?
Yeah, I mean it was probably maybe 4 hours total. I might be even overshooting it. I'm saying 4 is like a general number. I could be wrong. Not positive. It's probably shorter than that. But it was nice, just kind of chill. I'm going to move some stuff around, things fall in holes, fun time. If you do play it, make sure you read every item in the Trashopedia. That's all you need to know. Just make sure you read all of them. Got sweet descriptions on those. It was a pretty fun game. It was a good time.
All right.
I started playing Control, and I am liking it so far. I don't know how far I am. It is slightly mind confusing.
Out of all the big games last year, I know the least amount about Control. So I'm curious.
Which I think is good because I also knew minimal about the game. I knew like vague concepts and like ideas and stuff, but I never watched anybody stream it or anything. I've seen
like snippets of video.
Yeah, I saw like a little bit of gameplay and stuff, and I was like, no idea. But I'd been told by a few people like, you need to play it, and I was like, all right, fine. So I managed to get it for $20 and playing it on PC, and I'm like, so far I'm in.
Good enough.
Good enough for me. I don't know if it'll like perform to take Game of the Year titles from me for that year, but I doubt it. Because Luigi's Mansion was super good.
You got a Game of the Year pick so far for this year?
So far for this year, no. So I'm trying to think of anything that came out this year that I've played.
I know my Game of the Year.
SnowRunner?
No.
Oh.
Half-Life.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
SnowRunner's up there, though.
I'd have to. I gotta look at like my what came out this year list.
I mean, I've only played like 3 games, so
yeah. Oh, let's see. What are my top 3 gonna be for this year? Half-Life, SnowRunner, and I don't know, Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Yeah. So it'll be plugging away at that for the foreseeable future. And then I watched some shit. I watched Deadpool 2.
I think I've seen that one. That's one with the fat kid in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Deadpool 2.
Yep. They like formed the squad.
Yep.
Yeah. So Deadpool 2.
I really like my favorite one's the chick who's just lucky.
Yeah, that's her entire.
That's just her thing.
Yeah. What's your bill? I'm really lucky. All right. Well, cool. Not really a skill, but okay. Yeah, there's that. I watched Night Hunter. Henry Cavill movie. Henry Cavill, Sir Ben Kingsley. Is he a Sir Ben Kingsley? Is he knighted?
Yeah.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
He played Gandhi. Of course he's a sir.
That's the easiest course to knighthood is you play Gandhi. Yeah. Him, Ben Kingsley, and God, I don't remember what her name is.
I do not recall this at all.
I was like, what am I going to watch today as I'm sitting there doing work stuff? And I was flipping through Prime Video and this came up and I was like, it's got Henry Cavill. I'll give it a watch. And then I watched it and I was like, I enjoyed that.
I'll have to check it out. Do you still have to watch Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I do.
That's going to be a hard one to find, though.
I have it. That's how we hit that point that time as we were going through the list that I have.
All right. Don't need to flex. Put your guns away over there.
No, I'll watch that. Maybe I'll watch that this weekend during some downtime or Monday because nobody's gonna be work is not gonna be a thing because it's Memorial Day. So maybe I'll watch that then. Yeah, Night Hunter. It was an interesting movie, and I'll discuss more with it after with you a little bit. But he plays a detective or detective or whatever that is after a serial killer of sorts.
Okay.
Simple part of it. That, and then I watched all of Avenue 5. Avenue 5 is the HBO show with Hugh Laurie and a few others. God, I can't forget his name. I can't remember his name. Shit. Large guy that does comedy. Large, shorter guy. He's been in a few things. Anyway, him and some others. Screw it. It doesn't matter. But I watched that. They were 30-minute episodes. I watched it all in a day. And it was quite entertaining.
Sketch comedy? Is it?
No, it's Hugh is the captain of a
I know what you're talking about.
Spaceship.
Yep.
That show.
I think I watched an episode of that, and
it's like 8 or 9 episodes, 30 minutes. I watched the entire thing.
Yeah,
and I want season 2. So I enjoyed it. If you have HBO, go watch Avenue 5. It's a good time. Avenue 5 is the name of the ship. So
yeah.
And then I hated myself a little bit. I rewatched The Town. That's a different discussion. And then I watched. No, we're not there yet. There's one before that. What was the other movie I watched? I watched 2 movies. Oh, I watched X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. That's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
I didn't hate it, but I don't think it was that good. But I was just like, okay, X-Men movie that has some plot problems. You know, that's as you do.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm forgetting something else. But then I watched arguably it's easily the worst thing I watched all week. Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. And it's terrible. I didn't enjoy it.
See, here's the issue with this, though. You saying it's terrible and it's like the worst movie you watch, well, it makes me want to watch it.
See, now, Godzilla was bad. I enjoyed Godzilla.
That was one of the free movies. Now I'm remembering.
Godzilla King of the Monsters?
No, Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
Oh, God.
Was a free movie on YouTube, and I almost watched it.
Godzilla the King of the Monsters was a bad movie, but I enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm.
Crimes of Grindelwald is a bad movie, and I hated it. I did not enjoy myself. I got to the end, and I didn't realize it was supposed to be, because I am not in the Harry Potter fandom like people are, but I did not realize it was supposed to be 2 parts, or there is like a third in this installment of movies. And I'm like, oh man, wonder how much longer this movie has to end, because they're not really wrapping anything up. And I clicked pause, and I saw the meter had like 9 minutes left, and I was like, there is no way they wrap this up in 9 minutes. There is absolutely no way. And spoiler, they don't. They also don't discuss anything. He commits basically no crimes the entire time. If you don't have knowledge going into this movie of like intimate knowledge of the book or any of whatever the expanded universe is for Star Wars or for Harry Potter,
there is a book for Crimes of
Yeah, I don't know, but here's what I'm here to tell you. If you watch the movie, like you can watch all. People would always hate this, but like you could watch all the Harry Potter movies and have rough understandings of everything that actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like minor details and other certain events they might have cut out, but you have a pretty basic understanding. You watch this, and you can't talk with anybody because none of it happens. There's no crimes. Fantastic Beasts is a real exaggeration. There's one. And it's just like, there's so many plot holes and like attempted M. Night Shyamalan twists and name dropping. And oh, God, I hated every second of it. So bad. And I didn't hate every second of it. It was just like, as I started realizing I hated it, it got worse.
You know what's pretty terrible to think about is we'll probably see in our lifetime a remake of the Harry Potter movies.
That scares me. That honestly scares me. And not because I love the Harry Potter movies, but because of what they will become.
What they will become, and then having to go through everything all over again.
Yeah, with the second wave that is like, oh my God. Yeah. Maybe we're lucky and that doesn't happen. Maybe this third movie never happens because the second one was so bad. We'll see. And, I mean, I could keep going and ranting about this, but I don't think I need to.
Well, if you want to hear more, you can let us know.
Yeah, you can
maybe
find
we could
us
do
on...
a movie podcast. Like,
let's both watch a terrible movie.
Yeah, maybe you have a movie request you'd like us to give our review of, our stamp of approval or disapproval. Perhaps. I don't know.
I mean,
I watched The Patriot. That was a movie I watched. I didn't make it through the whole thing. It doesn't necessarily age well, but it's shot very pretty. I feel like they don't make movies like that anymore. Like, you know, but what do I know? I'm just a dude. talking on a podcast about video games and shit.
That's true. That's what we both are. But now we're done. That's all I got.
I'm out.
Peace.